if Bitcoin can get above this previous resistance here and actually turn it into support and then continue the rally, then we could be seeing, you know, that next major parabolic advance to test the highs sooner rather than later. But keep in mind, guys, if we do find some resistance within this range, this area here, this next pullback, if it does take place, is going to be possibly one of the last times that you can buy cryptos at good prices on this next major pullback. And if we do get a pullback here, we would be looking at a larger scale inverse head and shoulders, which would indicate that the bulls are gaining momentum and that Bitcoin is ready for the next major push to the upside in a potential bull market. Bitcoin has finally broken out of the price channel, turned previous resistance into new support, and is continuing to see higher highs. The crypto market is seeing a surge of positive sentiment and things are looking extremely bullish. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the macro trend, and we're going to be discussing the analysis that we've been providing here on this channel for the past half year that is finally coming to fruition, guys. We have been talking about this halving cycle and very likely that Bitcoin would be looking to ride an upward sloping trend as we're moving into the halving. And right now, things are looking just like that. Right now, I'm looking at the CryptoWatch asset card list, and we can see that all the top cryptos are seeing some nice gains today. Bitcoin is up over 4% right now, and all the top coins are following Bitcoin to the upside. And of course, guys, for those of you who haven't signed up with the CryptoWatch platform, it's the platform that I use every single day, every hour of the day. And you can chart and you can also trade all the top cryptos off of all the top exchanges, all from one place. You don't have to log in to exchanges anymore. I have multiple tutorials below. Definitely click those links. Now let's get started on the Bitcoin analysis. Right now, I'm looking at the daily chart for Bitcoin, and we can see that we are breaking out of the price channel, right? We broke out of the price channel, we turned previous resistance into new support, and we are rallying higher. We are seeing higher lows and higher highs, right? We are seeing some of the highest prices we've seen since this previous 42% China pump. One thing to keep in mind at this point in time is that Bitcoin is currently challenging the previous support of the descending triangle, which is a resistance zone, right? We found really significant support during the descending triangle many times within this range in between 9,100 and about 9,600. And then we also found significant resistance here back in October, at the end of October, after that major pump we saw, you know, finding a little bit of support around 9,100 and resistance around 9,600, right? That was a resistance zone, and we dumped down off that level. Now, Bitcoin has actually exited this downward sloping trajectory, right? We were on a downward sloping trajectory, finding lower lows and lower highs for about half a year. And Bitcoin has finally found higher lows and higher highs. And this is a significant change in market structure. And this is a significant change in direction for Bitcoin. So things are changing in this market. But keep in mind, right now, we are at a significant resistance zone. Bitcoin could potentially look to test up towards the $9,600 level before finding significant resistance. One thing to keep in mind is at this point, anything under 9,100 is a prime accumulation zone. If Bitcoin, for whatever reason, does find a pullback into this area, this is a prime area to be accumulating cryptos before the next major rally. Now, the reason why I say next major rally is because of the halving analysis that we've been discussing on this channel for half a year now, since the summer. If you've been watching my channel for many months now, then you'll remember that in this zone right here, right when Bitcoin started to break this parabolic trend to the downside, this is when we started discussing prices like 7,200 that Bitcoin would be looking to pull back to that level before getting sideways action and a major push. Didn't happen exactly how we expected, although it was pretty damn close. Bitcoin is currently bouncing off of an upward sloping trend line, and this goes along with the halving analysis that I've been providing here on this channel for over half a year now. If we just take a look at previous halving cycles, looking at the first halving cycle, off of this bear market low, Bitcoin finds two parabolic advances before the all-time high break, and we get sideways action and a bounce off the upward sloping trend. On the second parabolic advance, sideways action and multiple bounces off the upward sloping trend. And on the second halving cycle, off the bear market low, Bitcoin, rides an upward sloping trend, and we see one parabolic advance, sideways action, two parabolic advances, sideways action, and then a break at the all-time high. And if we're looking at what Bitcoin's doing now, we have one parabolic advance, and we're getting that sideways action that we've been talking about. For many months now, we've been discussing that Bitcoin is very likely going to be looking for sideways action, holding above an upward sloping trend. And from the macro perspective, that is kind of what we're seeing. We are seeing Bitcoin, getting some bounces, pulling back, bouncing up. Overall, we are kind of trading sideways over the past few months, although we do have a nice rounding bottom off of this upward sloping trend. This is very bullish. Now, when it comes to the macro perspective, the main bullish signal for me is going to be getting above this previous high right here, or this previous wick right here. If Bitcoin is able to break above this previous resistance right here, which is ranging in between 10 or 9,600 and 10,300 or 10,400, if Bitcoin is able to actually, get above this and break above it, this would be a macro higher high on the chart. Bitcoin would be creating one of the first macro higher highs on the chart that we've seen in a very, very long time. And this would be probably the most bullish signal you could get out of this market right now. But as of right now, if you take a look, we are still seeing, lower highs. We are technically still in a lower high trajectory. Bitcoin has not formed a macro higher high yet, right? If you're looking at the weekly RSI, we can see that we are not overbought just yet. So Bitcoin is still gearing up for that next major parabolic advance to retest some highs, right? Most likely, in my opinion, this next major advance that we have in Bitcoin is most likely, whether we trade sideways first before the rally or if we just continue up from here, I think most likely we are going to be retesting the all-time high level on the next major rally. Before the all-time high break. I do think that Bitcoin is going to be looking to create another major higher high in the market before the next major pullback going into the halving. What I think is most likely is people are going to be buying into the halving as we're entering the halving. And then when the halving takes place, we're most likely going to see a pullback. People are going to buy leading up to the event and then sell on the event. And, overall, this would be great for Bitcoin overall. I mean, if we just have that next major parabolic advance to retest highs and then sell off into the halving, and then the next major rally would be a break of the all-time high, this would go along with every other halving cycle we've seen. As of right now, Bitcoin is actually going exactly along with every other halving cycle in the way that it's played out. If Bitcoin can get above this previous resistance here and actually turn it into support and then continue the rally, then we could be seeing, that next major parabolic advance to test the highs sooner rather than later. But keep in mind, guys, if we do find some resistance within this range, this area here, this next pullback, if it does take place, is going to be possibly one of the last times that you can buy cryptos at good prices on this next major pullback. And if we do get a pullback here, we would be looking at a larger scale inverse head and shoulders, which would indicate that the bulls are gaining momentum and that Bitcoin is ready for the next major push to the upside in a potential bull market. If Bitcoin does pull back anywhere in the short term and we use the 21-week EMA as support here, this would be another incredible buy opportunity, an amazing bullish indication of using the 21-week EMA as support and then bouncing off that level, getting a break above the 21-week EMA, back testing it, confirming it as support, and then breaking out. In my opinion, this would actually be the most bullish case, is back testing the 21-week EMA as support and then getting a bounce off that level and then rallying, right? So personally, I am still leaning more towards a potential pullback in the short term, creating a potential larger scale inverse head and shoulders, retesting the 21-week EMA support and rallying up. And of course, guys, right now the parabolic stop and reverse indicator on the weekly chart is showing a bullish reversal here. And this is an extremely bullish indication. Very likely we're going to be, trending bullish for the next half year, the next few months potentially. I think Bitcoin is going to be entering a quite bullish period here. So guys, definitely keep all this in mind as you're trading this market. Be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, sign up for the CryptoWatch platform, which is by far the best platform in the crypto industry for charting and trading. And also, if you guys want to support the channel further, be sure to become a patron. We have some extra content that I post there every once in a while. I can't thank my patrons enough for always being there and always supporting me. One thing that we're going to do in the Patreon soon is we're going to create a small portfolio that is going to have some altcoins in it. One thing that you'll notice about my channel is that I exclusively analyze Bitcoin. A lot of times people ask me to, analyze altcoins. Although personally, I don't really see much of a reason for that. Everything kind of follows Bitcoin for the most part. And one thing I'm going to be doing in the next few months, as we're gearing up for this potential bull market, I'm creating a streamer account for my patrons, and I'm going to be accumulating certain altcoins as well, right? So one thing I never really provide is altcoin analysis. And what I'm going to do is for all of my patrons, they're going to be able to see which altcoins I'm buying. And I'm going to create sort of a mix of a Bitcoin altcoin portfolio for my patrons coming into the next few months here. Joining at the first day of the month or the second day of the month is the best way to get value from Patreon. But if you guys are interested in something like that, keeping track of something like that, definitely join my Patreon. Links are below. And I will see you all in the next video.